What is up, guys? It is the Bluebloods here, man. Coming at y'all with a Tuesday episode. Tuesday, June 8th, man. Hope y'all having a good start of your week. Screw Mondays. No one likes Mondays. At least we gave y'all a little bit of Johnny Manziel content. Never thought we'd have to cover him on the podcast again. But this topic today, my guys. Brandon, I'm happy because like him as a coach, but it's also kind of like a depressing day if you're an SEC West fan, SEC fan, maybe even if you're just a college football fan. If you're a fan of parody, it was a bad day for you today. Is we officially found out that Nick Saban has signed a 3-year contract extension, which extends on through 2028. His base salary in 2021, Brandon, $8.4 million. That's a steal for Nick Saban. It should be no less than 10 mil. It increases each year afterward, and an $800,000 bonus is available after the 2022, 23, 24, and 25 season. And so the statement is, quote, Terry, his wife, are pleased and happy to sign another contract extension that will keep us in Tuscaloosa through the end of our career. Hint, hint. So he's probably going to retire there. Our family calls Tuscaloosa in the state of Alabama home. It's our place. It's a place where our roots now run deep. This agreement gives us a chance to continue to impact the lives of young men and families who choose to play football and get an education at Alabama. He's been at Bama since 2007, Brandon, and this means that he will be 77 years old at the end of this contract if it's not extended again. Thoughts, concerns, prayers for the SEC? Like, how are we feeling about this, Brandon?
Terrified, downtrodden. I'm feeling a lot of despair recently. So, this sucks if you're not an Alabama fan, really, or if, you're not a Nick Saban guy. Obviously, he just signed his contract extension through 2028. And I think on the flip side of that, and I'll come back to that later, there might be a little bit of a bright spot or a silver lining here. But just at face value, you see this contract extension in 2028 seems like it might never happen. That is so far in the future that my mind cannot, I cannot fathom the year 2028.
So, after 2020, let's just get to 2022 before we start thinking about 28, man. That's a long. I mean, that's so long from now. Dude, we're gonna be 30.
Don't say that. We're gonna be 32. Don't say that.
That's tough. That's tough.
Yeah. So goodness, that will never happen. That day will never come. But I don't know, man. I mean, obviously, great thing if you're an Alabama fan. Great thing if you're an Alabama recruit right now who was kind of worried, you're going to start next season, and then is Nick Saban going to be there at the end of your career? Now it looks like he will be, so that's cool. But Zach, I mean, what are your immediate thoughts on the matter?
For me, one, the first thing I thought was recruiting, because the only thing you can use to recruit against Nick Saban is he was going to retire.
Yeah.
Is he's too old. Now with that gone, you can't attack his winning pedigree. You can't attack his player development. You can't attack as a freshman you can't play, because we see every year now more and more freshmen play for Alabama. What else can't you attack? I mean, you can't attack literally anything. You can't attack facilities because they're at the top of that list. There's nothing you can do. Dodge Chargers are nice. I mean, there's literally nothing you can attack anymore. And with this contract extension, how do you recruit against Alabama, Brandon? I need to know. If I'm a recruit and you're recruiting me from Georgia, what you selling me over Alabama?
Our coach isn't 71 years old. That's it.
Yeah, but your coach also hasn't won a national championship.
That's a fact. I mean, I'm not a Georgia booster right now, Zach.
That's true. That's true. And I mean, I think it's funny when it came out too, Brendan. Now that I think about recruiting, today's June 7th. That as we're recording, it's June 8th. This episode's coming out. Don't you think this contract was kind of worked out a few weeks ago, Brandon?
Oh, absolutely. No doubt.
Why do you think it was announced right now?
Because of recruiting. That's 1,000,000% what it is. He's
The
going to
dead
get,
period. The
yeah,
dead period just ended, guys. Like last Monday, the dead period just ended, and now we have this.
right. Zach, what I
I
will
mean,
say, and I referenced this earlier. I don't think that there's a single shot in this world that Nick Saban actually coaches through 2028. I don't. I think that this is 100% a recruiting tool, and this is what we've been talking about the whole time. That's what it is. I mean, think about it. If a player this year who's going to start his first season in 2022, then he has potentially through 2026 to play the 2026 season. Saban's contract ran up in 2025. So you've got this player who's like, oh, I'm not going to be playing for him the whole time. Is it really worth it? So they come out with this 3-year contract extension right now. Alabama's going to kill recruiting this year, next year, and the next. I think Nick Saban retires at the end of his original contract. I don't think he lives out those next 3 years.
yeah, I've always told people I thought 2025 was going to be the year.
Yeah.
I really did. I mean, like, damn, man, how old you want to be?
That's what I'm saying. Like I don't and why would you risk because you are going to get old, and why would you risk what's happening to other great coaches? I mean, think about Coach K. I mean, his reputation wasn't tarnished, but toward the end here, Zach, it hasn't been great. Like Duke, the past couple seasons hasn't been the juggernaut that they were in the '90s and the 2000s. So why
Roy
would you?
Williams.
Yeah, Roy Williams. I mean, we all see serious downhill turns for these programs once their coaches get to be old. And look, Nick Saban might be invincible, so this might not even be a factor, but he's human. So what happens when he's 77 years old, 78 years old, and he's still coaching? And how many times are you gonna be able to realistically spike your headset at 78 years old, Zach? He's gonna have a heart attack on the field. And I'm not trying to be funny, dude, but he I don't know. I don't think he's realistically going to be on the field past 75.
Yeah, that's the target age for me, and I just man, that was my first thought. Is there's nothing keeping him coaching until 2028. But like you said, I mean, how many more national championships could he possibly win?
Right.
I mean, this year they're a favorite. They're going to be a favorite next year. They're going to be a favorite the year after, and they're probably going to be a favorite the year after that, and maybe even the year after that, depending on how the recruiting classes turn out. And guys, I don't know if y'all have looked at their 2022 class. It's pretty damn good.
Yeah, not as good as LSU's because number one
yet
in the country.
Yet they did steal one of the best running backs out of Louisiana yesterday.
Don't worry about that. That's not even real.
That's not even real. And it also didn't help that Arch Manning named Alabama as one of his top schools right now.
Well, who else was in that conversation, Zach?
Oh, it's definitely going to be LSU because he's from. I mean, he plays in Louisiana
or Ole Miss. It's probably going to be Ole Miss.
No, I mean he said that his parents' uncles are not going to have any effect. He wants to carve his own path.
All right, come on, down to LSU.
I really think it's going to come down to LSU or Alabama if we're doing a way too early prediction. I really do think it's going to come down to that.
He's going to end up at Tulane.
Could you imagine? Could you? Nope. If he goes to Tulane, I'm done. There's no more college football podcast here. I surrender all knowledge of thinking I know anything about college football. But it's just for the recruiting trail. It makes it just impossible to compete with Nick Saban, man. Really and truly. And you said you're right. He's in good health. He doesn't look that old. Dude, there is a chance too that he does coach to 2028. And if that happens, man, as props to him. And this is the only coach that could probably leverage this. I mean, you mentioned Roy Williams and Coach K as two examples. What about Bobby Bowden and Joe Paterno?
Right.
Excluding everything. Time out. Excluding all the stuff that happened with Sandusky. I mean, Joe Paterno, Penn State wasn't where they were at the peak of his tenure.
No, and Florida State, we saw them take a downturn.
Scandal, and all hell breaking loose. And then they got lucky and hired Jimbo Fisher, who ended up bringing them back. And then Willie Taggart will never understand that. That's going to be – we should do an episode of, like, the 7, like, wonders of college football, and that Willie Taggart hire is going to be pretty high up there on the list of what in the hell were you thinking?
Right.
But, I mean, for me, man, what's he at? What was his national title this year? His 7th?
I think so.
His 6th at Alabama, his 7th total
Right.
because he won one at LSU. Dude, I mean, with this extension, I mean, you don't think he can win 3 of the next 6 national titles?
I can definitely see him aiming for that 10 national title, and like maybe that's what he's looking at. Who knows? But
Listen, I definitely think he wants to beat Bear Bryant's records. Bear Bryant was at 6-2, so he's tied with him right now.
at Alabama, yeah.
Yeah, so I think he definitely wants to beat Bear Bryant in terms of Alabama national titles, and that's going to be next on the list. But, man, that 10 looks real nice on it.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That nice even number, that nice 0 behind the 1 looks nice. But, I mean, if you're a recruit, if I'm a recruit with the one-time transfer rule, I mean, would you care if Saban retired? Because with one free transfer, you could just transfer now.
Right.
You don't even have to play it out. But I'm just interested, man, to be honest about just how this is going to affect other SEC programs. I mean, how many programs are going to hire young or did hire young, hoping to outlast Saban and hoping they can be ready to pounce when that door opens? Dude, 2028 is a long time. How many SEC coaches are under contract even near that? Maybe Kirby Smart?
Maybe Kirby Smart. I'm not.
Well, Dan Mullen just signed an extension last week, so him too. But outside of Dan Mullen and Kirby Smart, I don't think there's many people that are even going to come close. I don't even think Brian Harsin got that many years.
Right.
He got 4, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I don't know what Coach O's contract is. I'm sure he got an extension after the national championship.
I think he did. I'm not sure exactly what it is.
I don't know, man. It's just that there's no end in sight for the Alabama dynasty, man. This speaks. I mean, let's say through 2028, Brandon. Let's just say on the low end. What do you think the low end is? 2 national titles?
I think the absolute lowest end is 1. Like,
yeah,
he's going to win 1. Like that's a fact. I mean, there's no doubt.
So we'll say 1 minimum. I was going to say 2, which speaks to how good he is. I mean, even if he only wins 1, man. I mean, we have never that would solidify. Like, I don't understand how anyone else could ever have a dynasty like this.
Right? No, they won't. Coach O only has until 2025. So yeah.
Okay, so he was. See, they signed him up until Saban was supposed to dip out. I mean, and I think this changes the conversation on who's going to replace him, because let's say he pulls it out to 2028. Who even knows who's going to be the close second to Nick Saban in terms of college football coaches?
Right.
Because what happens if Dabo wins another title or 2 at Clemson, which is likely?
I mean, it's probable. I'll say that.
Yeah, probable. And who would be the replacement? I mean, really and truly, the only person I ever hear Bama fans say anything is Dabo Swinney's going to replace Nick Saban, which I don't think is going to ever happen. But for me, I felt like this was a good move for Alabama, Brandon. I mean, to be honest, it helps you with recruiting. It keeps the fans happy, and it keeps your legendary coach happy, who, as an Auburn fan, I would sell my soul to a very evil demon spirit to get Nick Saban coming to Auburn, to be completely honest with you.
Oh, my God. We're not that kind of YouTube channel, Zach.
How much would you give up for Nick Saban to come back to LSU?
Nothing, dude. I don't want him.
You're so full of it. You're so full of shit. I know you are.
I don't want him. He had his time. Whatever.
You want Coach O?
Yeah, I want Coach O.
He said this is our field now, but we're gonna find out this year. LSU plays Alabama plays Alabama in Bryant-Denny. But guys, comment below what y'all think, man. Lighthearted topic today, but the big topic: Nick Saban signs a 3-year extension through 2028. Comment below. Do you think he's going to coach that long? What were the reasons for the announcement now? And just kind of what are your overall thoughts of Nick Saban as a coach, man? If he's not your GOAT, reevaluate your life. And I'm looking at you, Alabama fans, because Bear Bryant don't want any of the smoke.
Dabo's my GOAT.
You say Dabo?
He never makes any excuses. He always plays with the hand he's dealt.
That's fair. That's fair enough. But Brandon secretly has a Coach O like statue in the corner that he like worships every night.
Yeah, it's over there.
Brandon's goat's behind his shoulder. Is smoking a cigar. That's the real goat. But guys, we appreciate y'all so much, man, for supporting the channel. Man, y'all just keep subscribing, and I never thought we'd be even near as big as we are now, but we aren't done, man. We're at like 260 something subscribers, so shout out to y'all for that, man. Road to 1K, baby, here on the Blue Bloods. So make sure to subscribe, give a big thumbs up to the videos. Make sure to go check out our SEC in 30 days that we've released so far. We have Andy Burcham from Auburn, Robbie Folk from Mississippi State. We got G. Allen. We got G. Allen from the Athletic for Florida on the podcast today. It drops, so check that out. Also, check out our 2-minute drills that we've already released. As y'all know, Monday through Friday, 2-minute drill right here on YouTube. Catch all the audio, interviews, and things like that on any and all podcast streaming platforms. But guys, for your boy B-Dub, for your boy, I guess myself, the Blue Bloods, and the 2-minute drill, we are out, man.